Generous time, but it's important. And Chuck the Breach Smith, Harkion AA, Argus.
Good to last, Cian Corla, and I hope you'll be as generous with me. I can see the look in your face. I think there's a huge irony, and I hope it's not lost on people in here, because it's certainly not lost on teachers, in the fact that members of the AGSI and the GRA are the same members who will be vetting parents and others to do the work of teachers come Monday, when teachers refuse to do work that they're not being paid for. And just to correct some stuff that previous deputies have said, there is no action planned by teachers on Monday. There is no strike planned by teachers on Monday. What's happening on Monday is that the Minister is refusing to pay members of the ASTI for supervisory duties. And in that scenario, if the schools close, it is your government and your Minister and you, Taoiseach, who are responsible for the closure of the schools, not the members of the ASTI. And I think that has to be made very, very clear. This is a sideshow. What the members of the ASTI did take a day's action for a week and a half ago, or just over a week ago, was for pay equality. And it's been extraordinary listening to the depths that journalists and others have gone to try and get Minister Bruton to say that he believes in equality. One simple, very popular, profound word in human society: equality. And he will not say it. He will not acknowledge that he's for pay equality. And it looks like what's happening here, should the Gardaí not go on strike, should the Labour Court come out with a recommendation that satisfies them, that there's an attempt by this government, a very deliberate attempt, to isolate members of the ASTI, to paint them as some dodgy organisation, when in fact they're extremely democratic. They have 180 elected members of their executive. Their president is a lay teacher rather than a trade union official, and they consult constantly with their members. Their sin, however, is that they didn't vote to stay inside the Lansdowne Road pay agreement. And what's happening on Monday is that the terms that they did adhere to under Croke Park are no longer going to be adhered to because they're outside Lansdowne Road. And isn't it more irony that we as a government, or we as a state, are willing to pay parents and others €36 a week as against €15 a week to get this supervisory duty done? The Examiner reports this morning that it would cost €70 million in total, less than 1% of the education budget, to restore full parity in education, in pay education for all teachers. So, Taoiseach, I want you to answer me. Are you for equality in pay? Are you for the restoration of full equality to the teachers, all teachers, regardless of their trade union membership, to the nurses, to the Gardaí? Do you believe in equality, and do you want to see it restored? And if so, is there any way you could extract that out of your Minister's mouth, that he too believes in it? And if you don't, perhaps before you leave office, I see you're being celebrated on RTE, you might achieve that statement: I believe in equality. Otherwise, you may as well say to Rosa Parks, when she got on a bus all those years ago to demand equality in public transport, you're entitled to 1/5 of a seat, but you're not getting the whole seat. Could you answer that for me, please, Minister? Taoiseach
is at the very centre of the work that government tries to do across a whole range of spheres here. Now, I'm disappointed that the ASTI are out on threatening, have taken a day's action, and others are now going to follow. And it's important to note, Deputy Smith, that there are two disputes causing industrial action in relation to the ASTI at present. The first is in relation to the withdrawal from supervision and substitution, and that's likely to cause indefinite closures from the 7th of November onwards, affecting over 250,000 students and parents. And the results from the ASTI's withdrawal from carrying out the 33 hours Croke Park per year agreement. There's also a deal on the table which would see payments for supervision and substitution restored, as well as a number of other benefits available to ASTI members if they agree to carry out the 33 Croke Park hours and suspend their industrial action. That's at the heart of that dispute. Less than an hour a week, agreed in previous public pay deals, to allow schools to host planning meetings and parent-teacher meetings outside of school hours. I'm sure you'd agree with that. Similar hours are worked across the public service. In fact, most public servants agreed to work 100 hours extra per year, as against 33 in the education sector. And you're aware that the TUI and the INTO have already negotiated an agreement and benefits from the Lansdowne Road Agreement. And secondly, in relation to new entrant teachers, which is the dispute which caused the one-day stoppage last week, there is a deal on offer to the ASTI which would see increases of 15% and 22% for new entrant teachers, with further benefits in terms of working conditions and a route to a further possible improvement after that through the Public Pay Commission, which, as I pointed out to others, is entitled to do a specific analysis of teacher pay and conditions if they want. Obviously, the deals that are now being paid to the TUI and the INTO are available to the ASTI, and those starting figures again will increase by 15% between August of this year and the 1st of January 2018, from 31,000 to 35,600. And an individual member recruited since the 1st of September 2015 will see a 22% increase in their pay from the 31st of August this year to the 1st of January 2018. That goes from 31,000 to 37,700. So the decision by the ASTI to withdraw from supervision, obviously, and substitution, that's a unilateral decision that they made. That has deprived them of benefits and deprived the teachers of benefits. And if they reverse that ban, those issues are available to them forthwith. And obviously the agreements reached with TUI and INTO speak for themselves. Deputy Smith.
Dr. Smith.
Repeat Taoiseach, and for the benefit of everybody who needs to understand what's going on here, should the schools close on Monday, should they close indefinitely, it is not the action of the teachers, it's the action of this government that will see those schools closed. The ASTI are not planning action, they're just not working for something they're not getting paid for. Now, none of us in this House are not working for something we're not getting paid for. There's very few people who do that sort of thing. What you're witnessing is a huge anger against the slow unwinding of FEMPI. Nurses have to work an extra shift every 6 weeks, an extra shift under appallingly stressful conditions in a creaking health service that doesn't even allow nurses to work at an even-handed pace when they're actually working for pay. So this is going to spread across the public sector. It won't stay confined to teachers. There's a huge level of disgruntlement there, and it boils down to the question of equality. Working alongside somebody who's doing the same job and you're on a completely different pay rate. And as I said earlier on, you restore equality, not gradually but fully. You don't give Rosa Parks a fifth of the seat in the bus, you give her a whole seat if you believe that she should be treated equally. You would never have said to men and women when women were fighting for equal pay, well, we think you're entitled to equal pay, we'll give you a bit. You would make at least a commitment to give full equal pay, and you would give a date when. And the subject of the dispute on Monday is not about teachers withdrawing. They're just saying, we're not working for nothing anymore. You are the one that's closing the schools, and you need to acknowledge that.
Well, you missed the point again, deliberately. The decision taken by the ASTI to withdraw from supervision and substitution is the cause now of a situation where boards of management are unable to keep schools open because of health and safety reasons. And that's why over 250,000 pupils and their parents can be inconvenienced on an ongoing basis because of that decision. This supervision and substitution were part of the agreement heretofore. But the ASTI, for their own reasons, made a decision to withdraw from that. That is, to work the 33 hours extra per year, or 1 hour per week. Most other public servants agreed to work 100 hours per week. So if the ASTI want to have the substitution and supervision monies paid to them, all they have to do is reverse that ban that they took themselves. It was not directed by the Minister for Education, was not caused by him, and the boards of management are responsible for the opening of the schools, and they can't open them if there's not proper supervision for the children and the pupils who attend there. That's an immediate issue that the ASTI could deal with today. The question of the new entrants and the pay on the table for them has already been outlined for me. I do hope, Deputy Smith, that again we can have a situation where the ASTI would reflect on what the TUI and the INTO have sat down, balloted their members and agreed to receive the benefits that they are now receiving. those benefits are available to the ASTI in the same way. This is about the country moving forward as a country, not for any individual sectoral gain. Again, we cannot step outside the Lansdowne Road Agreement. Minister for Public Expenditure and Reform has no leeway left there, and these are benefits here are available to the ASTI, and I do hope that the discussions that are now taking place will bring about that also.